You have actually ran more than 1,000 restaurants in your whole career. That's crazy.
I learned how to run restaurants at Denny's and Winchell's. The real growth for me occurred at Taco Bell.
What are the traits of a brand that can help them to scale and to grow?
It starts with the food. It better be special. The customer in those first one or two restaurants better be going, OMG. I've never had anything like this. I built what I call the pyramid of success. The top of the pyramid is finance. Building a restaurant brand is not like raising a child. It's an asset. A founder has to bring others in. If not, it's really challenging to grow. If your restaurant's running really well, you are probably doing all of the following.
Jim, it is so nice to be here today. I feel like we've been friends now for the past 6 years.
We have.
5 years?
Yeah.
I think we met through a common friend that we had probably, and then we just kept in touch ever since.
We have, and it's great to see you and the growth of the team. The team just gets bigger and bigger, doesn't it?
Thank you so much, Jim. No, it has been such a great job over the past 5 years to learn from you. I think one of the things that I really struck me when we first met is that you have actually ran more than 1,000 restaurants in your whole career.
I have.
That's crazy. Wow. That is what a great stat. I'm just curious to learn more from you. How was that experience of trying to open, operate, and to run 1,000 stores?
Well, it's a long process in the making. It's a journey, right? But I think what it really came down to is I learned about restaurants through great brands like Taco Bell and Denny's and Winchell's, where I actually got my start in running restaurants. My background's in finance and accounting.
Yes.
And luckily in the mid-80s, the CFO of Denny's and Winchell's asked me to be the controller. And while my degree's in accounting, I didn't like accounting. And so I ran financial planning and analysis, and they asked me to be the controller. I didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
So this gentleman looked me in the eye and said, Jim, you don't want to be the 45-year-old business analyst or financial planning guy, but you have great skills with people.
Yeah.
Why don't you learn how to run restaurants? Because there aren't many great restaurant operators who have the financial acumen that you do.
Yeah.
And so I said, I'd like to give it a shot.
That's awesome. And how old were you? How long were you in finance? And how old were you when you made that switch into restaurants?
I was 31 years old.
And you went on to spend the next 30 years.
30 plus years.
In restaurants. Wow. That fork in life really shaped you and changed your life.
Completely.
Wow.
Completely.
Wow.
And it really, and I'm still in contact with that gentleman who made such a difference in my life.
Wow.
And so I learned how to run restaurants at Denny's and Winchell's, but the real growth for me occurred at Taco Bell.
Yeah.
And
tell us more about that.
Ultimately, I started out in their training program. So I was a restaurant general manager and a district manager and an area coach and a franchise business manager.
Wow.
And ultimately, I ran about 100 restaurants in Denver and Salt Lake and Phoenix.
Wow.
And in 1990, along came 59, 79, 99 Run for the Border, where we challenged McDonald's to create a value.
Wow.
And we changed the game of fast food and changed Taco Bell. Overnight, Taco Bell sales went from 600,000 to $1 million.
What?
Overnight.
What? That's crazy. Oh my God. What a big change.
60% growth. It changed my career.
What? That's crazy. Oh my God.
Changed my career because we rolled that in September. In December, we rolled it to thousands of restaurants. So it was a test in September.
Yeah.
And this is how things have changed. Think about a brand with a couple thousand restaurants.
I know.
That went from a test to national rollout in 4 months.
Wow.
It was a game changer.
Wow.
And so that really launched my career.
Wow. Did you come up with the idea, or how did that idea happen?
Well,
bring about this sparkling campaign?
It started as a test in Illinois. It was not successful for a whole host of reasons. I went out and looked at it and said, no, we can do it differently.
Okay.
And so we changed the menu. Instead of having all these different disparate items, we lumped all the 59-cent items. So no longer was it tacos and burritos and more. It was all the 59-cent items. So it just said, the menu board and everything said 59. Then there were 79 and 99.
Yeah.
We painted windows and talked about 59, 79, 99. We went on TV with ads.
Wow.
All right. And then we had to change the production because you can't have sales go up 60%.
Yes.
without a change in throughput.
Wow.
And so we changed that as well to drive throughput, and it changed the game for Taco Bell, and it changed McDonald's because they had to come back and iterate off of us to continue the value message.
That's awesome. I've always known Taco Bell to be a very forward-thinking,
Always.
creative brand that was very strong in this marketing, creative ads. I didn't know it started back then with my own dear friend Jim. Oh my God, that's crazy to know about that.
The idea was through the marketing department, but the execution of it was out in the field in Denver in 1989.
Wow.
September of 89.
What a great story.
Game change.
September 89 to today, and it really helped to propel and to grow the brand.
Yeah, and look
leaps and bounds forward.
Taco Bell today is an innovator, right?
Yeah.
In every way. Culturally,
Yes.
new product,
Yes.
marketing, media.
Yes.
So, and I give John Martin, who was the CEO then, the credit for taking this Mexican brand and turning it into an innovative juggernaut today.
That is funny that you said that. I don't even think about them as this Mexican brand. I think of them as like a US brand, like an American brand that has gone like global. That is the way that I think about it, because the branding is so powerful. It is so strong.
It is.
Yeah.
It was a game changer.
Yeah.
So
and what do you do after that? How long were you there at this?
I was there for 7 years.
And then where do you go after that?
Actually 6 years. And so I with that innovation and revelation about doing things differently, I saw that my career was not to be in a big company, that I was really better suited for smaller, more innovative, faster moving organizations.
Startups to build it from the ground up.
Exactly.
Wow.
So I joined Noah's Bagels when they had 8 restaurants.
8 restaurants, wow.
And we grew it to 40-something restaurants when we sold it. Mm-hmm. We sold it to Einstein's just after, that was 94 to 97. So in just 2.5 years, from 8 restaurants to 40, with a pipeline of 50 more.
Wow.
We sold it to Einstein's. And, when you get bought out by someone, after a while, it's time probably for that existing team to leave, which it was. So I moved over to Jamba Juice. We built Jamba Juice from 40 restaurants to 450.
Wow.
In 5 years.
That's crazy.
All right.
Wow, 40 to 450.
So I took this playbook that I started to develop at Noah's Bagels of how to grow with scale and with excellence and with building a culture around people and teams.
Wow.
And a vision, your why, really from the very beginning. Understanding and articulating your why.
Yeah.
Why is the brand, just like Workstream has, right? That you have so well articulated. Did that with these brands.
That's so cool. It is so cool to hear about you bring all these brands from very small to very big, because these are all truly household brands that we all know every day.
Absolutely.
Jamba, Taco, bagel brands, and more. There's so much big brands that we know, and you were there right from the start when Jamba was only 40 stores, and today it's more than like 1,200 stores probably, right?
It's close to it, 800, 900, something like that. Yeah.
Wow.
And so, and in each of these brands, as I like to say, there was a monetization of the value that was created. Yeah. And I think that's one of the marks or legacies that, besides the people and the development, that I think is important as I think about my career. Yes. I help the shareholders and the founders create value, which is important.
Could I ask you, right, there's so many restaurant owners and brands out there, right? There's so many. There must be like a few hundred or a few thousand brands that come up every year. Maybe tens of thousands of new brands and concepts that come up. And many of these restaurant owners out there who is hearing us now, they want to go from 1 to 10 to 100 to 1,000. They want to scale. Mm-hmm. What do you see in these brands in these early days, right? They were only like 5 stores, 10 stores. Like, what do you see in them? And what do you feel that they were doing right? Yeah. That you believe that you can use your ops and this finance background to really help them to scale and to grow. But it's so hard to tell. There's so many new brands coming up every single week, every month. Yeah. How do we tell? And this is also helpful for all these restaurant owners out there to think through. If I have the goals to want to scale my brand from 1 store to 10 to 100 store, what are the traits of a restaurant, of a brand that can help them to scale and to grow?
Right. And so there are a few key things, and I have articulated these quite a few times, but it starts with the food.
Yeah.
Better be special.
Yes.
All right? And so you can take chicken
Yes.
and make it special by its seasoning or its crispiness or bagels or any of these foods. Yeah. But it better be special. The customer in those first 1 or 2 restaurants better be going, OMG. I've never had anything like this.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
So it just can't be a slightly better burger or a better product. It has to be, oh my goodness, right?
Yes.
Number one.
Yes.
Number two is you have to have something that the customer understands. Educating the customer about a whole new food is more challenging than if it's something they're familiar with.
Yes.
So familiarity is important.
Yes.
For passionate founders with wisdom.
Yeah.
So many, all right?
Yeah.
And if they don't have the wisdom, the willingness to learn from others.
Yes.
And to understand that their vision is critical to the success.
Yes.
But maybe not so much the execution.
Yes.
All right? And so they have to be willing to let go.
Yes.
You know, building a restaurant brand is not like raising a child. It is in some ways.
Yeah.
All right? And the founder did birth it, but it's an asset. It's different than a child.
Yes.
There are elements that are the same, and we can talk about that later.
Yes.
But just as it's important for parents to truly raise their child, a founder has to bring others in to raise the brand. And so they have to be able to listen to others.
Makes sense.
All right? If not, it's really challenging to grow. The fourth one is, do you have access to capital?
Makes sense.
Without access to capital, you're probably going to struggle.
Yeah.
And then the last piece is really understanding your why.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
What is your purpose? And if you want to grow, why?
Yeah.
And it can't be just for financial gains.
Yeah. Very helpful.
You want to change. You have to have a higher purpose.
Yeah. Makes sense. Fair. So Jim just summarized the 5 points. It is actually the food, the product, the founders, the team, the
capital,
funding, and the why.
Yep.
So those 5 things are what you think is what you saw in the early days when they were only like 5 stores, 10 stores, and you believe they could scale to 100 over stores.
Exactly.
Wow. And maybe fast forward to this other brand that we all know. You were the CEO for Blaze.
Yep.
For Blaze, like pizza is today a huge brand. Everyone knows about it. But when you first met them, they only were 2 stores. Wow, that really blew my mind. From 2 stores today to your, 1,000?
300 and something.
300 stores? Wow, from 2 to 300 stores in a very short time to like
6 years.
Like, why do you choose them? I mean, probably this 5 pointers and what led to that growth from 2 to 400 stores?
Sure. I think there are a couple key points. I'm going to go back to those, right?
Yeah.
I wasn't even a pizza lover. Right? Because pizza, when I think about the established brands, are large, they're full of dough, there's a lot of processed meats, all right, and processed cheese, etc. That just didn't fit with my lifestyle.
Yeah.
But this was a light, thin, crisp, airy pizza cooked in 3 minutes.
Interesting.
That tasted great. All the ingredients were free of artificial flavors, coloring additives, etc.
Yeah.
That made it healthier. I won't say healthy.
Yep.
But it's a staple, pizza behind burgers is the number 2 category of food in America.
Wow.
All right. Great founders who had already built a brand before in Wetzel's Pretzels, and Rick and Elise Wetzel. And a why they wanted to really democratize pizza and change the way people ate pizza for lunch and have always eaten for dinner, but also for lunch.
Oh, wow.
And create a place where the team members could grow and could be themselves. And so that's why I joined. Of course, they had good financial backing, ultimately getting LeBron James to come in and support the brand.
Yes.
And that was a big game changer too. So they had quality backers as well as the access to capital for us to grow.
Wow. Tell us about this story. How did y'all get LeBron James involved, and what was his role?
Yes.
And how did that help y'all to create such a strong brand? I think I always see this TV ads of James in the back kitchen trying to meet pizza and food and trying to serve clients. That ad is so viral. It is still deeply etched in my mind today. So I'm very curious, how did that back story come about? How did you all get him? What was his role? What did he do? And how did that help the growth of the brand?
Well, the founders were very fortunate to have an investor who is well known in the entertainment industry. And his partner, his actual financial advisor, advises some of the very famous and wealthy people.
Yeah.
And so we knew at the time, way back in 2012, that LeBron was ready to leave his deal with McDonald's. He had been there for a number of years. He was looking for the next cool brand.
Nice.
That through this investor and his partner introduced LeBron to our founders and Blaze Pizza. LeBron came out, met everybody, was truly excited by it. His deal was ending with McDonald's, and he came on board, and he was excited about it, and we structured a deal in which he had to do certain things for the brand, and of course the brand would do certain things for him. And the most important one was that he would make not a commercial, it would be we would do a viral video, so to speak.
Yes, it was truly viral.
and it really was.
Yeah.
And he was so gracious and so kind and spent so much time with us.
Yeah.
And it was a huge hit. And as we said at Blaze, it enabled us to punch well above our weight.
Yeah.
And so I think he made that video when we had around 100 restaurants, maybe less, I can't recall.
Yeah.
But the point is, all of a sudden, we were a national brand with just 50, 60, 70, I don't remember the number of restaurants.
Wow.
All right? Because of LeBron and his following.
Wow.
And so that formula of punching above your weight is critical for a brand early in its growth days.
That's so helpful. I really love the way that you frame it because there's so many brands out there, restaurant chains in that 10, 20, 50 stores. They are big, but they are not yet global or throughout the whole country. How can they think about what is creative for them to do, like marketing, to be linked to the right person, the right sports star or the right brand? And in today's world of like TikTok, IG, online, like, social media, there's so much we can do to even create that viral moment for restaurants and for brands even more.
Yeah.
Right. So that is so cool to hear about how Blaze and LeBron James have partnered up together to truly help to grow both so fast and in such a strong way.
Yeah. And it's easier today because of all the social platforms, right? And if a brand is fortunate enough to have either a star or as a guest or someone that they can ultimately be a spokesperson for them, then you can take it viral so fast in today's world.
Yeah, that is so fun. I don't know whether I shared, but actually Workstream is also backed by many sports stars. Some of our backers include like Joe Montana from this 49ers. Yeah. We also have James Harden, who is a famous NBA player too. So we have quite a few like sports style. We also work with like chained smokers. They also give us some funding too. Also Mark Cuban too. So it has been great to have a lot of this like famous VC sports stars who's been very helpful to us in terms of trying to create our own brand. So I fully understand what you're saying, and that same branding has really helped Workstream to build our own name, to hire better and stronger talent too. So
punch above your weight.
I know. I love that framework. That is so helpful. And trying to transit a bit, like you throughout your 30 years of background in helping restaurants to grow and scale, I have often heard from you something that is very close to your heart. It's about building the right team, people, culture, and operations. Like, can you share with me a bit about what's your framework to building the right people, the right team? Because I truly believe that the team you build is the company that you build. I think that is something that I feel transits so well from tech startups, restaurants, and brands. If you're able to build the right team, the company will follow from that. That's something that I have held from my heart very closely. It was our lead investor, Keith Rabois. He was the CEO for Square. He has backed many huge companies. He was telling me about this and that really was deeply etched in my mind. So trying to translate that to restaurants and brands. How does people, culture, and team work?
Yeah. Well, it's the essence of every great organization. And so how do you build it? Well, this will be in my words. This will not be a PhD course. This will be from the ground up as I see it. I think every founder I work with, I've challenged them as I've come on board to sit with me and let's talk about our purpose, our why, to articulate that. And as we started to build that, we then brought on board some of the very first people to expand upon it. So that by the time we were a team of 7 or 8, we had a very clear articulation of the vision and the purpose.
Yes.
All right?
Yes.
Because that's what you're going to go then talk about to this next set of hires.
Yes.
All right? And they're going to, once they're evangelized, they evangelize the next group of people. And I hate to use the religious term, but it's everybody understanding why we're here.
Yes.
What are we trying to build?
Yes.
And then building values, all right?
Yes.
So you have our purpose, we have our values, our goals, etc. And everybody learns those.
Yeah.
Team meetings built around it, storytelling, rituals built around it.
Yes.
So that it can begin to simmer and grow.
Yes.
Because especially in a distributed environment like multi-unit restaurants, you have to be able to make sure it's spreading the right way.
Yes, totally.
All right? And then continually reinforce it. You know, and in hiring, we were hiring mainly for values. In the restaurant business, I can teach most of the skills.
Yeah.
Can't teach values.
Yeah, totally.
You've got those in those first 20 something years of your life.
Yes.
Your parents or your whomever's raising you helps to support that.
Yes.
And so those values are important, including work ethic.
Yes.
All right. Willing to grind and get in there and do the work.
Yes.
And what I found early on, some of my early mistakes were I would hire people from big companies.
Yes.
All right.
I know.
And they would fail.
Those are the worst.
And by the way, now at 300 or 400 restaurants, they can be very successful in the brand. But in the early days, the beauty of big companies is they create safety nets for you. They create systems.
Yes.
And in an early startup, as you know, you're creating the system.
Yes.
You're creating those things that work.
Yes.
And so many big company folks can't create.
Yes.
And so what I realized after 1 or 2 mistakes is, no, I need the rebels like I was at a big company.
I love that.
Right?
I love that. Yeah.
The rebel, the one who challenged the status quo.
Yes.
Because you can do it better.
Yes.
And then we'll go do it. All right. And that's what I did
that.
in my early days at Taco Bell.
That's
all right,
so
in
good.
big brands. And so once you realize that you want people who are gritty and will do the work.
Yes.
And then you see if they can grow. If they can't grow, ultimately you're probably going to pass them by.
Yes.
And a great leader will help them see that.
Yes.
And there's another startup for them.
And I think on that same point, you often talk about yourself as a coach, almost like you're trying to run this, like this team. And as a coach, can you talk a bit about that framework of how being a coach helps you to help your teammates to grow?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'll say today, I still have coaches, right? And I'm 70 years old.
Yeah.
All right. I think the greatest advice I could give to a young person is we all need coaches.
Yeah.
All right. At every level.
Yeah.
All right. And that coach is probably can be your boss, but as a better coach is going to be someone who's going to give it to you straight from the outside.
Yes.
A good friend.
Yes.
Whomever.
Yes.
But as a coach, my role is to help you grow.
Yes.
And develop you.
I love that.
And in fact, in a restaurant, Desmond, there's only 2 prime directives for a general manager in a restaurant. Deliver the brand experience.
Yes.
And develop your people.
Wow.
Everything else
Love that.
is administration, or as I call it, administrivia.
I love
and
that.
in fact, just to tie it to Workstream real quick.
Yeah.
Workstream tries to make all the back of the house human resource relevant functions as simple and streamlined as possible.
Yes.
Why? Yes, for the deskless worker, but back to what I said, so that the general manager can spend his or her time serving the guest and developing their people.
I love that. And maybe trying to talk a bit about tech and software for just a quick moment. How have using the right restaurant tech and software, whether it's HR, payroll, or some other tools, help you in your career, in your job to run the teams better?
Well, honestly, I built this whole playbook of growth and scale is built on eliminating the barriers that general managers face to build their sales and develop their people.
Yes.
All right. And what I saw early on from my days at Taco Bell and even at Denny's and Winchell's was that companies forget what the prime directive is.
Yes.
And there's so many software programs and things that are asked from the support center out to the restaurant that the manager is not spending time on the things that really matter.
Yes.
And so I built this whole playbook of growth on eliminating the roadblocks or the boulders that get in the way of the general manager.
Yes.
And so technology has always been something that can do it when applied appropriately.
Got it.
And I think the beautiful thing today is if you think about it, over the last 15 years of technological growth, there have been so many disparate systems that are out there today.
Yes.
And what Workstream is doing is putting it all in one. And that enables restaurants to spend more time serving their guests and developing people, and making systems that support that as easy and as streamlined as possible.
I love that. Have you seen restaurants? Have you seen that over the years that restaurants have been more and more open-minded to use new technology and software? Because at the very heart of it, I feel like food business is a very real business. It's very brick and mortar. It's very face-to-face. Do you feel that restaurant owners have been more and more open to use technology and software now? And why, perhaps? What do they save? Do they save money? Do they save time?
There's no doubt the momentum is building for all of this. And it's building because if you don't, you're going to be left behind. Today, back when I started in restaurants, we were in the food business, right?
Yes.
And then we realized we were in the hospitality business serving food.
Yes.
Then probably 10 years ago, maybe 15, we realized that technology enabled us to develop people and serve food and deliver hospitality in a better way.
Yes.
And today with AI, I think it's just accelerating that, and the momentum is building. And so it is not to eliminate people at all.
Yes.
It's to focus people on their two tasks, which is serve the guest and develop people.
I love that. That is so powerful. Thank you for sharing that, Jim. I'm trying to change topics real quick. I recall that when I read online about you, you were sharing about this framework of dogs versus cats, right?
Sure.
Dogs versus cats. Restaurants. Can you talk a bit about more what you mean by that?
Sure. Well, having been in the restaurant business for 30 years, as soon as I walk into a restaurant, I either say dog or cat. Drives my family crazy.
Yeah.
Because especially in a fast food or a fast casual restaurant, and I'm not talking about fine dining, right?
Yes.
But when you walk in the front door, and you just stand at the front door and don't walk to wherever is the counter.
Yes.
In 3 seconds, I'll say dog or cat. And it's really
3 seconds. Wow, that's really fast.
Because here's what happens, right?
Yeah.
When you ring the doorbell at someone's house that has a dog, all right?
Yeah.
The dog runs to the front door.
Yes.
And is barking if they can't see you. But when the door is open, wagging their tail, jumping up and down, so excited to see that guest.
Yes.
All right, who has rung the doorbell. Or when the owner comes home. What does a cat do?
Yeah.
There are some cats who are very friendly. But a lot of cats go hide.
Yeah.
Right? They don't want any part of it. So when I walk into a restaurant, whomever's either in the dining room as an employee or behind the counter, if they look up and say hi or welcome, they're not task-oriented, they're guest-facing and they're guest-focused.
Yes.
That's a dog.
Yes.
All right? Wagging their tail, so happy to see you.
Yes.
A cat, they're on task, they're doing whatever they have to do, and they don't even know if you're there.
I love that.
And so, today, I think restaurants, especially post-COVID, we all went through this. We got to be as efficient and digital as possible. But I think today, if you want to distinguish yourself, brands that are really excelling in building sales and profitability are focusing on hospitality.
Wow.
As well as the efficiency piece.
Wow. So what is better, cat or dog?
Oh my goodness. And by the way, cats are fine too as pets, but not for restaurants.
Got it. That is very helpful. Thank you. And to get to the stage where you can be a dog restaurant with strong, warm and love and passion, it is not easy. It starts from people, operations and team. We have talked a bit about people and team. I'm very curious to jump over a bit to this. Operations. You are a very strong operator.
Yes.
What are the key traits of a restaurant to actually operate very well?
It starts with a manager who cares, who sees his or her role to develop his or her people.
Yeah.
All right. And takes great joy. In developing people.
Yeah.
So that's really number one. Let's face it. Restaurants are a trade school for the development of people. And so the ability to develop people is so critical. To build systems,
Yeah.
which starts with a training system.
Yeah.
And today, in today's world, that means videos that are fun and entertaining.
Yes.
People remember things that are creative, funny,
Yes.
right? Don't, can you remember things from your physics teacher 15 years ago? But I guarantee you, a teacher who brought things to life,
Yes.
you remember much of what they said.
Yes. Yes.
I can remember so many sayings from teachers that were so unique.
Yeah.
That,
Makes sense.
but I don't remember anything
Yeah.
in my physics
Yeah.
book, right?
Yeah,
So,
that's so
those training systems are so critical. The feedback loop is critical so that you catch people doing things right, or your guests tell you about people doing things right.
Yes.
And reinforcing that with stories within the restaurant.
Yes.
So important. Rewards, and I'm not talking necessarily about money, but team rewards at the restaurant level for outstanding service, for best of whatever,
Yeah.
is how you build that culture,
Yeah.
right, where people want to perform,
Yes.
and that they're heard, and so suggestions from the team members.
Yes.
So I go back to that founder who didn't want to listen, not going to be the founder I'm going to work with.
Yes.
The same thing as a team member. If my manager doesn't listen to me and at
Yeah.
least understand my needs
Yeah.
and then hear good ideas,
Yeah.
probably not
So
going to stay.
many of our audience today for this session, they are actually restaurant owner operators. What advice do you have for them to improve operations? What are some good things that they can do like today? Like 2 to 3 quick tips that they can do throughout the day to help them to improve their operations.
Well, the first thing I would say is spend time in your restaurants. All right, number one. Even to the restaurant owner who is 10 or 15. Right?
Yeah.
Down to the, if you only have one, I'm sure you're in it all the time.
Yes.
Right? And if your restaurant's running really well, you are probably doing all of the following. You are recognizing your general manager and encouraging your general manager to continue to grow. You are supporting the development of your shift leads into assistant managers, and hopefully, if you plan to grow, your assistant general manager becoming the GM of that
Yeah.
next restaurant.
Yeah.
All right. You are catching people doing things right.
Yes.
You are also holding people accountable to whatever the standards may be.
Yes.
And correcting in a private way. So
Yes.
we want to correct privately and praise with everyone.
Yes.
All right. And you are providing inspiration and motivation to things that are done well.
Yeah.
And when that happens and listening to the team, you're going to continue to build your restaurant.
Yeah, no, that is so helpful. Thank you
It's
for
so
sharing.
fundamental.
Yeah,
it's so hard, but yet it's so
Yeah.
fundamental.
That is so crucial. Changing topic slightly, I think a topic that I talk to many restaurant owners every day it is around how there's so many macro changes. Cost is going up, compliance is getting harder and harder. And on the topic of this compliance HR, right? How crucial is that for this restaurant owners? What have you seen
Oh, boy.
over the years? Because I talk to many owners and there's this myth going around. No restaurant owner is ever fully compliant with HR because they can't. The cost to be fully compliant for everything, whether it's clocking in and out, meal breaks, overtime, HR, the cost to be fully compliant is so high to put so much money into that and time. Is that true? What have you seen? And what should owners be doing to be more compliant and to run their businesses well?
Well, it's certainly become more complex. No doubt about it.
Yes.
But there are systems like Workstream that are simplifying that and working with the right software provider, the right HR team and legal support.
Yeah.
I would say that it is not that costly.
Yeah.
You just have to plan and prepare. And Desmond, I'll go back to it's easy to be average. It's hard to be great.
Yeah.
And we know whether it's in basketball
Yes.
or business
Yes.
or becoming the first violin chair in a symphony.
Yes.
You have to put in the work.
Yes.
You have to do the planning.
Yes.
You have to find the right, in the case of HR compliance, systems
Yes.
and legal support people to ensure that your partner is doing it right and
Yes.
well. And then it's not that hard.
Yeah.
All right? But you have to put in the work. And I think when people say it's too hard, It's that they're not willing to put in the work ahead of time. And if you do,
Makes sense.
you can be excellent
Yeah.
in anything and everything. When you look at greatness, people put in the work.
Yes. That's very helpful.
You cannot be great without the repetition and the knowledge of doing it over and over, whatever it is.
That is something we often tell our owners, that investing in compliance is worth it, and investing in HR drive profits. I think people often think about compliance, HR, payroll as a cost center, but we often tell them if you invest in HR compliance teams, it's worth it. It will help your team to do better sales, to treat your clients better, and your growth will come as a function of that.
Yep. When I moved from finance to operations way back in the early 80s, I built what I called the pyramid of success.
Yes.
All right? And remember, I was a finance guy.
Yes.
The top of the pyramid is finance.
Yes.
The bottom is people.
Yes.
All right? And people includes all the compliance as well as the training, development, et cetera.
Yes.
People, the facilities, operational excellence, marketing. You can't market unless you have the culture and people right, the building right, the operational execution right. Then you can market to the consumer, and your money, the sales and profitability will be there. You can't focus on that. Focus on the first layer, and you can work on the first two layers together, and maybe the third, but you shouldn't even be focused on marketing until you have those other three right.
That's awesome. I've learned so much from you today, Jim. I feel like you just know so much about restaurant, people, HR, and teams. I've learned so much from you today. I feel like we all could talk for hours and hours and just not stop, but it's been so great. To really round it all up, I have one final thing to maybe ask you.
Okay.
I feel like you are really known in the space as the person who picks the right restaurant brand, the right restaurant operator, and really help them to grow. In our audience today, many of them are up and coming restaurant founders and owners, and they are trying to figure out, I don't have much money or time. I'm trying to work very hard every day.
Sure.
I'm working 7 days, but what should I focus on? If you have one final advice for them, you are like a 3 to 4 store owner in the audience. You have good food. You are very passionate, and you really want to grow this from 3 stores to 10 stores and beyond. What should I focus on?
If you want to build a brand for over the next 10 years or so, and you have established a solid foundation, I would look to hire that next leader who can help you scale.
Yeah.
All right? All great founders need a fast follower or a first follower. All right, whether it's in technology or restaurants or anything.
Yeah.
Someone who can help them execute and be their partner in growth. And so if they're already at 3 or 4, they're ready for that person.
Yeah.
And they're out there. They are the rebel. They are the experienced 7 to 10 to 15 year employee who is always looking for something bigger and better and wants to develop it and wants to be their, if you will, their co-pilot in that journey.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for your time today, Jim. I've learned so much from you, and I'm sure many of our restaurant owners out there do. Thank you for your time today.
You bet.
Thank you so much.
Always.
Thank you so much. Yeah.